In today's video, I'm going to share the top 5 most common reasons for spouse visa rejection in 2025. And if you have already received a refusal or if you're applying for the first time this year, these are exactly the mistakes you need to avoid to improve your chances of success. And by the way, thank you so much for all the love and support you have been showering on me. And if you are new here, I am Aarti Khajuria and I create videos on all about Canadian immigration, study visa, spouse visa, and life in Canada. It's all based on my real experiences and step-by-step guidance. So without wasting any more time here, let's jump straight into the video. Let's check the first rejection reason. I am not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay, as stipulated in subsection 201 of the IRPR based on the purpose of your visit. Let's be honest, this is the most frustrating and the vague rejection reason out there. But what does it actually mean and how can you avoid this rejection reason? Basically, your application did not clearly show that why you are coming to Canada. Officer isn't convinced that your stay is truly temporary, or there may be doubts about your intent, your documents, or your ties to your home country. So basically, officer is saying that your purpose isn't clear enough and I think you might overstay. Why this rejection reason happened? The first and important thing is your weak statement of purpose, or maybe less documentation about your relationship and why you are coming to Canada, or missing document or inconsistent supporting documents, or you didn't show strong ties to your home country, like you did not mention about your job, or if you have any property you did not mention about that, any kind of commitments like loan or the family obligation, you haven't mentioned anything about that. Your reason for visiting looks very temporary on paper but permanent in intention. So these are the actual reason why they have rejected on purpose of your visit. Now the important thing, how to avoid this rejection reason. If you are like applying second time or you are applying for the first time, you should be mindful what you need to avoid so you wouldn't get any rejection. So first thing is that write a winning SOP. SOP is a document where you need to clearly explain to the visa officer that why are you traveling to Canada and what is your plans in Canada when you are coming here, like when your spouse is studying or working, what are you going to do here and how are you financially prepared? Like, are you financially strong when you come to Canada? And why you want to return your home after your spouse study or their work permit finishes. So you need to mention your clearly intention. So your letter must sound like very confident. It should be personal, write in your own words, should be logical, not the robotic, like copy paste the pattern from somewhere else. Do not do that. Second important thing which you need to be mindful is that attach very strong supporting documents. Like if your spouse is studying or they are working, attach all their study permit, their college documents, their working document, all their tuition fees. Like attach everything what they have in Canada. In terms of another proof like your marriage certificate, your proof of relationship documents, attach all other proof of relationship document to support your file. And if you are working in your back home country or you have done studies, attach all your qualification and the employment documents. And also include your funds document. It is very strong document and the visa officer is looking for that. And third important thing is that show strong home country ties. Like if you are working in your home country, your job offer letter or employment letter saying that you will return back. If you have any properties, include your property ownership document. If you have done any kind of financial investment, that is very strong document to come back to your home country. Or if you have any kind of commitments like a loan and all, show that documents as well. Another important thing here is that show close family ties. Like if you have elderly parents and you have siblings and you need to take care of them, mention each thing in your SOP that why you want to return back to your home country. Another important thing which you need to be mindful is that clarify your temporary intent. We all know when we want to come to Canada, we always want to take the PR and do not overdo PR talk. Even if you have the long-term goals to settle in Canada, just remember this is your temporary visa. It is always like that. You need to go back to your home country. So you need to mention that reason in your SOP. Always respect the immigration laws and mention that you will return back to your home country. At the end, I would want to say that this rejection reason might sound like very vague, but it is actually a message to you that is saying your documents and your story did not match. Because of that, I'm refusing your visa. What is the second most common reason for the rejection? I have included the second and the third both in the same thing because it related to the financial stability. So I am not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay as stipulated in subsection 201 of the IRPR based on your personal assets and financial status. Third reason could be I am not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay as stipulated in subsection 201 of the IRPR. Your current employment situation does not show that you are financially established in your country of residence. Now let's understand what this actually means. This is the second most common reason applications get rejected for a SOWP. Immigration officer is basically saying that your financial situation does not convince me that you will return to your home country after your authorized stay. In short, they are saying they don't see enough financial stability in your profile. So why this happens in your spouse visa application? The first thing is that your weak bank balance, you did not follow the LECO requirement, you did not follow the Canadian latest IRCC requirement to prove that you are financially strong. You did not show the enough savings to support yourself in Canada. No strong income, like you don't have any job in your back home country. Or you might have left your job or can't prove that the stable income in your home country. Or you don't have any valuable assets, like no property, you haven't done any kind of property evaluation, no investment document, you don't have any kind of savings, you don't have any assets in your name that basically tied to your home country. Those are the reason why IRCC officer rejected your profile and mentioned that you are not financially stable in your home country, you don't have any personal asset. That is the reason we are rejecting your profile. Now let's understand how to avoid this rejection reason because it is very common. The first and important thing, check the IRCC website. Check what is the LECO requirement and what funds you need to show. You need to show the strong personal finances. It could be anything between 10 to 15 lakh, but check the IRCC website. And to support that, you need to include your bank statement. Do not include the bank statement only for 2 or 3 months. Include at least minimum 6 to 8 months of your bank statement because it shows that you have a consistent balance in your account and your account is very healthy in terms of money. And to support that, you need to attach your income proof like your salary document or your pay slips or your business document that from where you are getting this regular amount. Also include the proof of assets, whatever is there in your name attached as. You have property evaluation document and land evaluation document, attach those documents. If you have any kind of investment, you need to mention all those details. And if your spouse is supporting you, so you need to attach a financial support explanation letter from them. Their GIC document, if they are working part-time, you need to attach those documents. If they are working full-time, their pay slips and all. Basically attach all the documents, what they are supporting you in terms of the financial stability. Also mention in your SOP that you would go back to your home country and why you don't want to overstay in Canada. So these are the things which you need to be very mindful when you are preparing your profile for SOWP. Fourth common reason for rejection is that I am not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay as stipulated in subsection 201 of the IRPR based on your insufficient evidence of marriage proof. This reason basically means that the visa officer wasn't convinced that your relationship is genuine or like properly documented. Even if you are legally married, you didn't prove the authenticity of the relationship clearly in the application. So they are basically saying that I don't see enough proof that this is real and ongoing relationship and that your purpose for visiting in Canada is legitimate. Now let's understand why this is happening. So what happened? Most of the candidate only submit a marriage certificate and nothing else. So this is the one very common reason why this rejection happens. Or maybe missing proof of communication like the no call logs, no WhatsApp chat, no social media proofs and no email screenshot attached in the application. Sometimes people don't even attach the wedding photos, the travel history or the joint account details. The most important thing, they forget to write the marriage cover letter or your relationship letter. It not explained. So those are the major things why your application was rejected. Now let's understand how you can fix it and how you can avoid this rejection. The first and very important thing, go beyond the marriage certificate. Marriage certificate is not alone enough to prove that your relationship is genuine. You need to include your photos like wedding, your pre-wedding, post-wedding, during wedding, at least minimum 20 photos you need to include. Also include the screenshot of the conversation, like what you are having, like the WhatsApp screenshot or your travel history document. If you have any kind of your joint documents like any bills or the legal documents you have, you need to mention in your profile that. Another very important thing to show how your marriage is very genuine, write your relationship letter. I always say to everyone, this is very personal letter that you need to write in your profile to prove that your wedding is genuine. How you met, how your relationship grew, what is the key dates when you first time meeting, when your wedding happened, what you did on the very important dates. This marriage cover letter has its own importance. And if you want to know how to write a marriage cover letter, I have already created a detailed video which you can see on screen, and I've also attached a link in the description. You can check that. I need to tell you a very important thing here. The visa officer isn't there to meet you in person. So your document needs to tell your story. So if your marriage is genuine, then your application needs to reflect that in a way that it's like emotional, logical and well documented. And that's where your marriage cover letter plays an important role. In terms of the supporting document, attach everything what you have from your relationship to till this date. Your WhatsApp chat, your social media proof, your screenshot, your travel history, all those important documents you need to attach. And if you want to know more about the proof of relationship documents, I have created that video and I have attached the link in the description. You can check that. Or if you need any kind of help in terms of the SOWP, you can always DM me on Instagram and comment me on YouTube, and I will be happy to help you. Another reason for rejection is, I am not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay, as stipulated in subsection 201 of the IRPR based on your significant family ties in Canada. This is one of those reasons that surprise and confuse so many applicants, especially when you think having family in Canada should be a good thing. So now let's understand what the officer is saying here. So because you have close family in Canada and maybe not enough ties to your back home country, I think there is a high risk that you will overstay your visa or try to stay permanently. So instead of seeing family as a positive connection, the officer is viewing it as a possible immigration risk. And now let's understand why this happens. So like you have so many family members or the close relatives in Canada, like your siblings, your parents and cousins are there. That might be one of the reason. Or you didn't show strong enough ties to your home country. It appears like you might want to settle permanently, even though you are applying for the temporary visa like SOWP. Or your SOP is not strong, or your SOP is giving the impression that you will stay longer than your authorized visa. How can you avoid this rejection reason in the future? The first and important thing is that emphasize your temporary intent in the SOP. That's how I'm again and again saying make your SOPs very strong. So your statement of purpose must clearly explain that why you are coming to Canada and what is your short-term plan and why you will definitely return home. Always use very strong language like I fully understand and respect Canadian immigration laws and I will return to my home country once my permit expires. Second thing, show ties to your home country, like include proof from your job or your business. If you have any property, include the property ownership document. If you have any family responsibility, like you have elderly parents or kids or you have siblings, include those responsibility in your SOP. Or if you have any financial obligations like you have any kind of loans or the contracts, include that as well. You can mention that your family in Canada, but also explain that your stay is very temporary and your life is rooted back home. Like you can use the example like, while I do have family member in Canada, my personal and professional commitment in my home country are very strong and my intent is to return after completing my authorized stay. This is very strong line. With that you can clearly mention that you are not gonna overstay here. Having family in Canada can be double-edged sword. It can help your case like if your intent is temporary and you clearly explain, but it can hurt if your file looks like you are planning to stay forever. These are the top 5 reasons for the spouse visa rejection. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to have any kind of discussion regarding SOWP, you can always comment me and I will reply you as per my experience. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one with more information. Until then, stay informed and take care.